Well, the latest, Sal, is that it's still kind of been status quo since we got to Nashville, and that, as you guys summarized, hot and heavy a little bit late last week, cooled off. The Yankees were upset, not just with the ask by the Padres, but with the fact that it got reported, muddying the waters between the two teams a little bit. And I can't definitively say that it's picked up again yet, but I can definitively say, Bryan, that it's supposed to pick up again yet. And look, I'm getting a lot of, I wouldn't comment on that. When I ask Yankee people, have these talks resumed? We were able to find out so much a few days ago that I think this time they're going to try to keep it a little bit more under the lid, Bryan. But I have a feeling that if this hasn't picked up yet, it will again soon. What is your read on this situation?
It definitely feels like the wind is blowing that way. Yep. And yes, you're right. There is kind of hints in the air here that Soto to the Yankees is picking up steam again. And what has struck me about it is how openly people with the Yankees, whether it's Brian Cashman, whether it's Aaron Boone, they're basically sending love letters to this guy. Cashman called him a transformational bat. Boone spoke very openly about how much Soto would help their lineup. I feel like this is a situation where in years past, you don't talk that openly about a guy who's in a different uniform unless you're thinking that pretty soon, by the end of the week maybe, he'll be in your uniform.
Mm-hmm. All right, Andy. Well, how about Shohei Ohtani and his future? How does that impact a Soto trade with potentially more teams getting involved for Soto?
Well, the fact that Ohtani hasn't chosen a team yet has turned the entire winter meetings into the Eric Fedde decision event. So really the whole industry's stopped up, including Soto, including most things except the very smallest things. It affects it directly because there are no other teams right now engaged in a serious way with the Padres that we know of on Soto. But if the Blue Jays miss out on Ohtani, they will be a serious trade partner for Soto. So we're waiting on that a little bit. But again, like Bryan was saying, and that I'm kind of feeling, the Yankees still feel like the only game in town here. And that's not necessarily totally Ohtani dependent because we know obviously Ohtani's not coming to the Yankees. So it's holding it up, but I think there's a little sliver of a way that it could happen anyway without Ohtani.
It makes no sense to me that the Yankees are the only team in town when it comes to going to get Juan Soto in all of Major League Baseball. Just makes no sense. All right, guys, hang tight. We'll get back to you in a little bit. Let's make a pitching change. Give me the lefty as we welcome in Jerry Blevins. All right, Jerry, how about you? How are you feeling about this Juan Soto situation?
Yeah, I think it's smart for the Padres to kind of hold court for a while. It's weird, like you said, that the Yankees are the only team in the mix right now because he's such a transformational player. He truly is that kind, especially in Yankee Stadium. But the Blue Jays feel like they are one bat away. I know Harp talked about bringing in Soto doesn't really make them a contender because they have so many other issues. But I do think that the Blue Jays become a contender with the way their rotation has shaped out, that if you bring in Juan Soto or Ohtani, depending on where he goes, I think the Blue Jays or the Padres are smart to wait out the Blue Jays and see where Ohtani falls. But if I'm the Yankees and I truly want this guy, I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but I'm throwing in King now to get the deal done. That way you don't have to start a bidding war in that process.
Yeah, it's exactly right, Jerry. Why would the Padres make that move before Ohtani makes his move unless it's something that is what they feel to be an overpay? It makes zero sense. Forget the Mets for a second. How in all of Major League Baseball, there's not one team that will be willing to take Juan Soto, even if it's for $30 million and some prospects for 1 year of renting him? He's one of the best players in the game. It can't just be the Yankees or no one else. I mean, that is ridiculous. And you're right. If San Diego's smart, they wait out Ohtani and then see the best offers and go from there.